Welcome back to Jazz Time. JazzTime.com is an online store that buys, sells, and trades authentic luxury watches. We make these videos so you can easily choose the best watch for yourself in the comfort of your own home. We offer the lowest prices anywhere online, and if you'd like to know the price, simply click on the links in the description below. We greatly appreciate if you purchase your next watch from us at JazzTime.com. Today we'll be going over quite an interesting watch here. This is obviously a Rolex Submariner, but this is the reference number 16610. This particular one is a case serial, meaning that it was from 2001 or 2002. According to the papers, this one is a 2002 manufacture. So what does all that mean? Well, that kind of influences basically what goes inside and what you see here on this watch, all right? But first, we'll be going over the case, dial, bezel, crown, the crown functions specifically, the movement, as well as the bracelet. And I'll be giving you my thoughts on all of these throughout the video. All right, so starting off with the case, we have what is before the super case. This is 40 millimeters from finger to thumb. That's the diameter. All right, so we have the monoblock middle case as you would typically see, but it has holes in the lugs that gives it, sort of that more industrial sort of look, industrial sort of feel. Some people don't really like these, and that's fine, I understand. All right, we have the screw down case back and the Rolex winding crown to ensure waterproofness down to 100 meters, or actually 300 meters or 1,000 feet below sea level, as you can see on the dial there. We have a nice brush finishing along the front of the case and a high polish along the sides, all right, as you can see, which sort of mimics, well, it doesn't really mimic much because this was made in 2002. This is sort of the general formula going into the mid-2000s at least, with the brushed finish face of the case, with the sides being a high polish. All right, now taking a look at the bezel here, this is what was the aluminum bezel, the aluminum insert bezel. All right, we have the steel outer portion here with the very deep knurling, makes it very easy to turn that bezel with that signature Submariner sound. Let me see if I can get it. Yeah, so not all that loud, but not entirely quiet either. Okay, now here we have again the aluminum bezel, all black, matching that of the dial. All right, so this is one of the last models to actually feature the aluminum bezel, which does have more of a diffuse look when it comes to the reflection of light, if that matters to you. The ceramic is more directly reflective when it comes to light. So these light beams that you see moving on this bezel as I move the watch around are a little bit fuzzy around the edges, and that's due to the diffuse nature of this aluminum. On the ceramic, you get really clean, sharp lines. So it's a little different, but that's the overall difference there, at least the main difference when it comes to those bezels. All right, this dial leading in here, we also have what was before the Maxi dial on the Submariner. So the Maxi dial featured much larger index markers there, so these circles wouldn't have quite as much space around them, although it's still incredibly easy to read. And also notice that it says Swiss made at the 6 o'clock position. That means that this one is made also with Chromalight, or actually before Chromalight, but made with Super Luminova as its luminescence applied on there. So if I turn out the lights, you can see it works just as well as Chromalight, although it doesn't last quite as long. So we have a very bright green overall tone here with the tiny pearl for that second hand moving slowly around the dial. We also have one on the zero marker for the bezel, so you can just simply place it and align it with your minute hand, and there you go. You can time it rather easily. First 15 minutes are the most crucial, so you have more hash marks along that bezel should you need them. All right, now placing it back there, and let's turn the lights back on because it is starting to lose some of that glow in the dark capability. All right, again, Super Luminova, not Chromalight, which lasts significantly longer than that and has a slightly bluish tint to it. All right, so now looking at the functions of this watch. All right, also before that, we have the sapphire crystal on the front with the built-in Cyclops lens, so you can easily read the date. And speaking of which, we can actually adjust all these things about the watch first. So unscrewing the crown to the first position, note that this is the trip-lock waterproofness system, so you have that extra rubber gasket inside there in the screw system. So, you know, when you have this screwed in tightly, you definitely have that 300 meters of water resistance. No need to fear about that. Okay, so this first position allows you to wind the watch. So if you're at a dead stop, 20 to 30 full winds is all you need to get to the full power reserve. All right, let me move this minute hand out of the way here. Okay, now pull out to the second position. We can actually adjust the date rather quickly, and this movement actually is the first within Rolex's line to feature this quick set date feature, especially in these Submariners. So it's about a quarter turn to advance the date by one. A little bit, it feels a little bit more than a quarter, but it's certainly nice and easy. If you find yourself on the 30th of a month, you can just simply turn it real quick and get to the first of the next month very easily. All right, pull the crown out to the final position and note that it stops at seconds hand, allowing for that hacking stop seconds function, so you can then adjust the minute hand and place it precisely depending on the second hand position. Align it with an atomic clock, push the crown back in and screw it back tightly against the case to ensure that superior water resistance. All right, so what makes all of this work is the caliber 3135, featured for the first time in this Rolex Submariner at least. All right, and well, around like the early 2000s. Again, this is the 2002 model of this watch. It sort of introduced two very special features, one of which I already went over, which was the quick set date, because previous models of the Submariner required that you just simply move the minute hand and therefore the hour hand forward or backward. And it's quite a task if you have to move the, you use the hands to adjust the date over time, especially if you're 15 minutes or 15 days ahead or 15 days behind. That's the longest you'll have to rotate it. So you'll be there screwing that crown back and forth for a very long time. This one allows you to just adjust the date really easily, no problem. All right, the second is that it introduced a higher beat rate, which is the standard that you'd find across all modern Rolex models today, which is the 28,800 vibrations per hour, or 4 hertz. All right, and that basically means that your seconds hand moves 8 times a second, almost giving it that very, very smooth sweeping motion, as you can see. All right, it has 31 jewels, has a diameter of 28.5 millimeters, allowing for that center, hour, minute, and seconds hand function, date, aperture at the 3 o'clock with rapid setting, as well as the stop seconds for precise time setting, all of which I had just demonstrated. It also has the certified chronometer, the superlative chronometer, meaning that it meets and exceeds COSC standards, meaning that it is within a plus or minus 2 second per day time differential. All right, so you're basically not losing or gaining that much time. No need to, manually set the time all that frequently as compared to other watch brands and watch models. This power reserve for this watch gives you 48 hours. So simply winding the watch all the way using the crown and wearing it on your wrist, the natural movements of your wrist will allow the bidirectional winding rotor on the inside to keep it wound up to that 48 power reserve. Very, very significant step forward for Rolex when this model was made. All right, now taking a look at the framing here, we have the Oyster style bracelet, entirely brushed on their 3-piece links all the way across, brushed, including the sides. All right, so this is definitely an older style bracelet. And note that we also have the hollow links here. All right, so this one is sort of like the earlier 2001, 2002 model, meaning that, the newer forms of the Submariner actually have heavier links, and therefore they're solid all the way through with only holes for, the little screws that keep them just together. All right, we have the safety clasp here with the Rolex logo stamped directly into the clasp there. So to open it, simply lift the top as you typically would, and then lift the tab right underneath there. Nice and easy. All right, you have the Rolex stamped logo on the inside, very elaborate. All right, and what's interesting here is we have this diver's extension. So you don't have an easy link 5mm extension. You don't have an easy link extension here. This is just for diving. So typically you would have this watch sized to your wrist by removing or adding links, And then once you need to put your wetsuit on to do that 300-meter dive, all right, you'll need that extra space to, like the extra linkage to basically be able to fit this around your wetsuit. So if you look very carefully, there's a little circle divot on one of these links. Press on it, all right? And doing so, oh, I had it open already. Okay, and doing so will allow you, I'm actually having the hardest time doing something extremely easy. There we go. It was way too easy for me, actually. I was just trying a little too hard. So all you need to do is just press that circle in. It pushes these two inner links outward so that you can then open it up. But more than that, you can pull it out even further to then get that diver's extension. All right, so let's do that again in focus now, okay? Now, simply press on the little dot. It opens up, and then just pull out again from there to get that diver's extension. All right, that's basically 4 hole links, three hole links actually, from that pinhole placement. All right, makes it very nice and easy to fit this over a wetsuit, nice and easy to put back in as well, as you can see. All right, now while I'm here, I can actually try the watch on, give you my thoughts as to how it fits on the wrist, how it looks, because this is quite an interesting model. It's sort of bridges the gap between vintage and modern, because it does have that vintage overall look, but with all the modern functionality in it, because you have that excellent movement that is still actually used to this day, with this sort of overall, like, a look that you really don't see on any Submariners anymore. All right, and this is before the super case that, you know, has the lugs that sort of point downward a little bit more. They don't really point outward, and certainly this one has the holes in the case, meaning that this is even older than before the maxi or super case, depending on which way you want to call it. All right, so either way you have it, you have a different way to remove the bracelet if you absolutely need to, or if you need to change it out for whatever reason. All right, but anyway, how it fits on the wrist, my wrist is 7 inches in circumference, so at a 40mm diameter, this does take up quite a bit of wrist space. It has that wrist presence, as you can see in the monitor here on my in the camera, and I can see on my monitor that it's quite large on my wrist. I get barely any framing of the bracelet from the 12 and 6 o'clock side. Of course, if your wrist is larger, your mileage may vary. All right, as you can see, if you have a larger wrist, this will definitely fit you much more proportionally. But you know, that's not to say that that's a bad thing, because when I have a larger case, I do get more breathability underneath these lugs, because there's more overhang, as you can see from these lugs sort of pointing outward, and it doesn't exceed the width of my wrist all that at all, really. So you know, that's just more of a win situation for me, because I get more venting of the wrist. It's getting closer to summer now, so I very much appreciate that, even though the Oyster links do give you plenty of breathing and no unceremonious epilation of wrist hairs. Okay, now taking a look at how it looks on the wrist, well, you can't go wrong with this Submariner. This is probably one of, if not the only, legendary watches in, you know, existence, because so many watch brands have tried to copy this, many have tried to fake it, but you can't replace the Submariner. Well, only Rolex really can, because, you know, they've included the, say, Cerachrome ceramic bezel, and, you know, very slight updates to the dial and such, but basically it remains essentially the same. The only difference here is that, well, this one's a 2002 model. It's got a slightly different sort of form factor, but overall you can look at this and you'll know that it's a Submariner. Easy to read in any lighting situation, in the dark, low light, even when it's bright outside. Gives it a very nice sheen depending on the lighting angle. When it comes to the overall wear, it's not too terribly light, but it's not excessively heavy either. The sea dwellers and, you know, the deep seas, those take the cake when it comes to weight. Sky dwellers too, but you know, this one is actually very much on the lighter end when it comes to Submariners. The more modern Submariners with the super cases do tend to weigh a little bit more, at least in my experience, when it comes to the subjective experience of wearing this watch. Very light otherwise in comparison, and the counterbalance of this bracelet, not quite enough to fight against the case or to counterbalance the case. So you're going to get more wobble on the case on your wrist, but that's if you're taking this out for sporting activities, which, you know, this is the leading sports model from just about any manufacturer, the Rolex Submariner. But anyway, that's all I have to say about this. What do you guys think about this watch? Let us know down in the comments below. Be sure to like this video as it helps us out. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and if you haven't already, hit that bell notification so you can be notified when we go live with another video like this one. And as always, if you'd like to purchase this watch or any other watch, new, discontinued like this one, excellent condition by the way, visit us in our online store, jazztime.com. Links in the description below. We'll see you in the next one, and take care of each other.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to model as seen in video, click on it, and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at jazztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in JazzTime, plus the brand, model and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.